Hello everyone and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be taking on the Captain's Loyalty Chaos Challenge quest as part of Basch's Lost Chapter, and for this I'm going to be bringing along a party of Noctis, Vaan and Basch with a Pandemonium summon. So we do not only have one, but two characters that completely trivialise content at the moment in this party, so even though it calls itself a challenge quest, it's probably going to be anything but. So the reason I'm bringing along Pandemonium here is because Noctis exists and is a thing, and we're going to be doing plenty of launches. Unfortunately, this boss absorbs both lightning and earth, so it's immune to both of the summons that gives extra max brave, which is kind of shit. I could use Ifrit or Shiva, but I don't really need the extra attack, to be perfectly honest, because I'm just, everyone's got synergy, so they're going to be hitting all nines on everything anyway. So I'm bringing along Pandemonium because it's also weak to wind. I could bring Diabolus for the bravery regen, that's also a possibility. But I know that Basch, with his rework now, actually has pretty good batteries, so I should be able to get some mileage out of Pandemonium, at least in theory. So I didn't record my pulls for Basch because, I don't know, pull videos, you know that I'm going to be getting it when I'm going for it. It's just a question of how many resources I have to spend, and this time it took me 220 tickets to get both his EX weapon and his LD, and after 217 tickets I also got a freaking dupe of Noctis BURST. So you see folks, that's why you wait until the last banner before you decide to chase for the burst if you're going to do it. I wanted to go for Noctis early because I wanted to have some fun with his burst weapon. I don't regret it, but a dupe is a dupe. That's 5 extra tokens for me. But you definitely open yourself up to the risk of dupes if you pull in the first banner. So, it is what it is. RIP, I suppose. So yeah, we've got Noctis and we've got Vaan here. I could bring Sarah, but let's just bring the LD squad, you know what I mean? And here is my Noctis. He is fully set up with basically everything. And his spheres, yeah, I've already gone through this selection before, but this is what I'm sticking with for the time being. All the brave damage. Vaan is somewhat less perfect, but he is perfectly serviceable. And he does have all of his weapons, including Worlds of Illusions, and just got some random fucking crafted spheres because, they were in my inventory, so why not? And here is my Basch, who I kind of got semi-perfect during the double token event. This is good enough for me. He does want that max brave, I think, more now than he wants the HP, but, I'll take a little bit of HP because why not? And I'll just throw some kind of whatever spheres on him. To be honest, I'm going to be saving this sphere for Gladio. I think if there's anyone that deserves this kind of HP damage up sphere, it's going to be Gladio, because he's also going to be taking a lot of HP damage, and I'm going to be using him a lot. So, yeah, sorry Basch. You get your character boards, you get your artifacts, and all your weapons, but you do not get your boards. So I actually want to try something in this quest because I remember that from the initial time, like the initial release of Basch's event, if you actually manage to go into the summon before you go into the next wave, then you can actually go into the summon before the bosses. Like, the first thing that the boss does on the beginning of the next wave is that it actually reduces everyone's HP as kind of like a field effect. But I remember one thing you could do is you could go into the summon before you go on to the next wave, and it will never actually proc that ability until it's actually got a turn. So, in theory, I should be able, if I can trigger the launch before I actually go on to the next wave. Let's target B over here so we whop in front of it. Game sound is a little louder than I expected, so I do apologise if it's a little bit off-putting, but yeah. If I go into summon before the next wave, then in theory I should be able to stall the boss out and possibly even not let it get any turns at all. I don't know if it's going to go that well, but I suppose we can find out. Let's see here. Let's go for a regular shooting star. So yeah, I do not need to worry about HP damage whatsoever because Basch exists. And I'm actually just going to attack A over here. Let's just use his skill 2. Because skill 2 is the one that heals him and also batteries everyone. So this rework is really nice. And to be honest, it's actually quite nice to use Basch himself, because I really like Basch in Final Fantasy XII. I like his character growth arc. And he's also one of my favourite characters to use because his strength is so goddamn high. He makes and he's got some of the cleanest weapon animations in that game, as opposed to Balthier, who has absolutely ridiculous animations. On the other hand, we've got Basch, who has some, he looks pretty cool with a katana. Like, to be honest. Let's another shooting star over here. Even though, yeah, I did that HP attack with Basch in midair, so he's not going to be battering as much on this one. But yeah, I like Basch in Final Fantasy XII, but when he first came out, like when he first released, he just wasn't really all that impressive, in my opinion. So I had to skip him. Like, well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to skip him because he just didn't bring enough to the table for me to really consider bringing him along. But now I finally get to use him, and his auras are incredible. Like, he just practically makes your team immortal. Like, if you have him there, you really have to go out of your way to actually get killed. Like, I just love, I love his kit. So, even though Warrior of Light will come along later, and will kind of make Basch a little bit, like, less essential, he'll still be good. So I'm just happy that I get to use him now. Because even though I do like using powerful characters, I won't lie, it's pretty obvious, I do like my meta characters, but I also like it when I have favourites that are also meta. Because I do like to use the characters that I like, I just don't like it when they're weak, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not going to handicap myself in order to use favourites, because I don't enjoy playing the game that way. But, like, for example, characters like Kuja, for example, when Kuja comes out with his burst weapon, you better damn well believe I am going all in for that thing, and I'll do whatever it takes to get his full kit. Okay, so we're going with a red spiral here. Okay, perfect. So now I can actually go into the summon and then get onto the next wave. And we are gravy. We are a go for the abuse. So let's go into summon now. And I'll just do a warp strike. So we won't get any of the invisible buffs, we won't get the HP down, in theory. Okay. So I am going to do a shooting star plus here on B. And yeah, indeed, it hasn't taken its first turn, so it's not procced any of the auras. And I'm actually going to do a bravery attack here with Vaan and with Basch. So let's see. I think I can actually do a white wall here, and then I can probably do an LD on his next turn. With Basch, I'm absolutely going to go independent. Put a battery to everyone, which is very nice. Let's use Vaan's LD. I know his EX is charged, but I'm not really interested in it at the moment. What I am interested in, however, is getting as much turn advantage as I possibly can. So of course that means I'm going to be popping Noctis LD on this thing directly before I come out of summon. Okay, so I'm going to give Vaan some battery by using skill 2 here. Let's rotate into Flame Purge. We've already got the skill 1 up on them, and then we'll pretty much just be on this thing until it dies. Like, let's be honest, not a problem whatsoever. Yeah, so B's actually going to get its B's going to get its stuff off. Unfortunately, it looks like. I mean, maybe. Will it even? Yeah, it probably will. But look, Basch is at full health, so we can technically heal up to full if we really want to. And I still have 3 skills, so yep, red spiral plus. Thank you, please. Yep, so it's got its stuff up now, sadly. And if I look here, B's turn is not on the turn bar, so that's interesting. So I'm not actually really going to get any free turns here, am I? I might as well just, like, conjure Armageddon or something. Let's do it. Okay, so I have a... turn. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so I mean, like, I could technically just go into the burst now, which I think is something I am absolutely going to do. Question mark? No, 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 not yet. No, let's do Warp Strike Plus first. Let's get some battery from Basch, so we get a decent launch. Speaking of a decent launch, now let's pop the burst. Shall we? I mean... yeah, might as well. Okay, so there goes those things. No problem, really should have had Crystal 65 on before using that EX, but never mind. So I mean, like, I could just use Warp Strike here, but I want to go for the most damage possible, so I'm absolutely going to spam HP plus, or plus plus. Okay, so let's make sure that we use Steel Pirouette. I mean, this isn't ideal over here. What I think I'll do is I'll let Noctis's turn warping run out, and then I'll have Vaan and Basch go before him, so we can make the use out of Vaan's. We can make the most out of Vaan's burst effect, because Basch's battery should be pretty good for that. I mean, I'm just like, I'm theory crafting on ways to kill this thing, and it's not a threat because Basch is basically invincible anyway as it is right now, so. Yeah, I can't really afford to use a crystal 65 here. So I'll let Noctis chill out over here while we use up all these free turns on these guys. So I'm using the battery there because of that. There we go. Definitely make sure to get that LD buff back up. As tempting as it would be to use a Crystal 65 here, that would kind of waste the final turn of burst that we've got left. So, HP++ it is. I mean, whatever the hell this attack is just going to get invalidated by Basch anyway. Or just miss completely because of Vaan. I mean, that also works, I guess. Yeah, it's time to bring this to a close. The one chance it had to do anything remotely threatening, it completely blew it. So I guess with Vaan's blinds you could technically complete this even if you don't have Basch fully set up, it's just that Basch makes it a lot easier. Yeah, let's absolutely keep the free turns rolling. Even though they're wasted on Basch. And this is pretty much over. I'll take an easy challenge quest after how frustrating the Odin one was. So even though I'm not showing you anything particularly groundbreaking here, you know what I mean? Like, at least that's it. There we go. That is Basch's challenge quest, completely invalidated, mostly by Noctis. With guest appearances from Vaan and Basch. So that's going to be my my run of the Vaan Chaos Challenge. Vaan Chaos Challenge, friggin' the Basch one. Yeah, Basch is absolutely worth it, even though you didn't really see it right there because Vaan's blinds kind of just cut the boss from doing anything, and Noctis just controlled it the rest of the way. Yeah, you can still, you know, Basch is definitely still a very good pickup in my opinion because you just don't need to worry about dying when he's on the field. Like, literally, in Dimension's End, you could probably throw Basch together and, like, 2 characters with, like, auras of any kind and just be totally fine, because you don't need to heal when you've got him, because he heals himself. Yeah, just absolutely no worries. So I'm going to be skipping 9. I'm still going to be doing the challenge, obviously, because Basch will be synergy for it as well. Not sure what I'm doing about Odin yet. I'm a bit worried about Odin. I might actually be skipping some of those challenges, but we'll have to see what I feel like when I get there. So, Until next time, that's going to be it from me. I hope you all had some amazing luck on this banner, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.